Hey there YouTube, this is Mr. Chrono666 and I'm here to do a little bit of Game Boy modding. I'm gonna first get my Game Boy. Got this, conveniently, Game Boy right here. Well, I actually pulled this out of a random box of Game Boys I had got, so I don't even know if this works. As you can see, got a little bit of damage, kind of rough, and a little sticky. That's actually very weird, but not a big deal. We're gonna figure out and see how this Game Boy is. Pop some batteries in. Alright. Man, I gotta really scrub out them corners. That's got like years of gunk in there. Alright, let's go ahead and turn it on. Ooh, look at that screen damage. Easily replaceable or fixable. So I'll get to that point as soon as I actually tear this thing apart. So the good news is that there's no horizontal lines. If it's horizontal, I can't fix them. I always end up burning the ribbon cable on the side here. So we're going to go ahead, cut the power. And they are free. So at this point, your Game Boys are connected. The front and back half are connected by the ribbon cable that actually feeds the video, the screen. So you need to gently, I tug a little bit left, a little bit right, comes right out. It's not a big deal. You won't damage it, trust me on that one. So I've got all 6 of my screws there. I'm gonna go ahead and set those aside. Let's see, outer Game Boy shell. I have way too many bags of screws. Boop. All right, let's go ahead and set that there. And next thing, let's go ahead and remove the screws to the back part of the Game Boy. There's the power button. Yay, little switch. Toss that in my bag of buttons. Alright, there we go. We got all those screws out. I like to keep my screws and everything organized, super organized, until I actually need the screws again. Where's my other screwdriver? There we go. PCB board. Alright, once you got that, you can go ahead and you can lift that out. Oh, look at that. It's actually very clean, looks pretty good. Pretty good indeed. So we can go ahead and set that aside. Look at that. I've got a pile of them already set up. How convenient. Alright, we'll come back here. Get the camera aligned again. And then you have your metal shielding here. Let's... Seriously, I've got a lot of metal shields to spare. Alright, and see, now that you have that off, you got to get out the battery contacts. And as we can see here, they're actually very clean, no corrosion. We got very lucky on this Game Boy. And if you ever have contacts like that are dirty, vinegar and baking soda. Mix it together, scrub the hell out of them, let it soak. It'll all work out good for you. So let's go ahead, a little bit of zoom, there we go. Come on, there we go. I prefer a flathead screwdriver. Just go ahead, push down, push out. Comes right out. Just tuck it in there, down and out. There we go. All right, that's it. As you see here, in case you ever need to tell the difference between what new battery connector you'll need, there's 2 with the spring on the left and 1 with it on the right. I'm upside down. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, just like that. All right. We'll go ahead. I'll set them in my bag as well. All right, so we have that taken care of. Let's go ahead, and now we have to take off the screws here. There's 10 screws. Take your time. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All 10 screws have been removed. Go ahead at that point. Might be a little sticky. This was not sticky at all. And it's sometimes because of the plastic that lines the inside. And someone has already removed that plastic film. Well, okay. So yeah, there we have the Game Boy. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is what we're going to be repairing at that point. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to separate my buttons. And the reason I throw them all into this one messy bag of buttons is because this is all the buttons that I have to clean. Yeah, it's a lot of buttons. So, pop out the screen, boop. Alright, and I just happen to have a Game Boy here. It's got Kirby Dream Land in it, alright. And this is basically my test Game Boy. I leave it like this, the contacts are in there, I know that it works. And it's the one that I don't take the contacts out of and I leave the board in there so I can quickly connect the screen and then go ahead and fix it. So I'll do that. Go ahead and we're going to get that screen back in there. I always just pick one side at a time. Doesn't matter which side, just take your time. It will go in there. And then once you got it back in there, I don't have a power button, but I have a little switch. And that's fine. There we go, my batteries weren't secured in there. Alright. Here is where the fun begins. Alright. Now we're back. Had to adjust my camera a little bit. Was fighting me. I am trying to remove the sticky substance. You need to know that number one, you're not going to ruin it. You would really have to hold your soldering gun here for a long time to really see the effect of melting the cable. And I have yet to do that long enough to actually have it happen. So if you do damage your cable, good job, because I've never done that. Alright, so you want to do is you're going to go ahead and just run right, see how it's automatically reacting. I got a little bit of solder on there. Make sure you clean it first. Alright. So now that we're back, we're going to go ahead and resume now that we got nice and clean tip. I hold it there because you want to make sure to reflow the solder. It's a long process, so just keep wash, rinsing, and repeating until you fix it. Notice how those lines are coming back to life? Yeah! You just gotta be patient. Don't be afraid, and I am pushing it against the glass. Some might say that's too long. I don't know, you tell me. Because I'm pretty sure the screen's getting more fixed. And yes, it looks like I am making it worse here. I am making sure that the rest of the lines don't just screw up later on down the line. So I'm making sure all the connections are good. All of them. Because, I mean, you wouldn't be a very good modder if you didn't check everything. That just sucks. Terrible modder. There we go. Come on. Come back to life. Come on. There you go. You'll notice the screen's starting to get darker where the tip is. That's because I'm holding it there that long and it's really getting hot. So I always try to pull up when I see it get real dark like that and then just work on the other side. Oh, yeah, left side is good now. I'm going to go ahead and test it to make sure it's all nice and resoldered. A little sensitive there. Not afraid to hold my gun there. There we go. This ensures that your Game Boy won't just randomly get lines later on. It's pretty cool. Look at that, look at that. I'm keeping my eye on the far right pixel because I want to make sure that it does not screw up. does not screw up. I'll sometimes just touch around. I'll touch the black center part just because, I don't know. I don't know what it is, so I don't want to touch it. And look at that. Oh, yeah, you're still a little sensitive. That's okay. Right here, there it is. Oh, some right there. You good? Don't psych me out. Yes, I know. Blink, blink, blink. And that is that. You have just repaired your Game Boy screen if you've been following this. See, look at that. Look at that. Woo! It's all beautiful and Game Boy-like and wonderful. So, yeah, fun times. I always make sure to turn it off because a lot of times it'll go ahead and the lines will come back. I've seen it happen. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, now that that's done, you need to go ahead and go to the next step. Let's see. First, all right, we'll be back in a moment. Need to go ahead and set up for the next part of the video. All right, we're back. So, what you need to go ahead here is now we're going to actually add in a backlight. So, get your screwdriver. That's not a big ass screwdriver. I got a little one right here. You need to first go ahead and remove these two tiny screws. Right, now that we have that off, where did that screw go? That screw's gone. See, it happens sometimes. You just gotta roll with it. I use a flathead screwdriver because I don't want to pull at the cable here or the cable here. So I just put it right there and just gently lift up. See, there's just a couple of little pieces of adhesive, I don't know, styrofoam? It's just a buffer to help protect the screen. So I go ahead and I remove that. Here's the most fun part. Seriously, if you're not old enough to do this, don't do it. If you don't trust yourself with a razor, don't do it, because this part can be dangerous. I only say that because I don't like razors, okay? And this sucks. The next part here is that you need to scrape off the back part here. I don't know if you can call it the polarized film, whatever it is. It's basically what's needed for the Game Boy data to show up for you to play the game. So very gently and very carefully, but with enough pressure, push down and scrape that film off. We are going to fast forward this whole segment. I'm not going to just sit here because it sucks. So you can watch me suffer. Enjoy. That was shockingly easy. It's never this easy. Appreciate it when it happens because it never happens, okay? It really doesn't. Most of the time you're trying to remove the film and there's the back part and there's that bastard polarized part that sticks to the lens. That came off so smooth. Because look at that. Look how good that is. That little corner, we're going to zoom in it because it's an asshole. Where is it? Right there. Yeah. You can use alcohol to remove that. You can use some Goo Gone to remove that. I have some handy dandy alcohol. Not sponsored by Publix, but you know, I just happen to have it. So go ahead and completely clean the screen. You don't want to leave any residue on there. You leave it on there, you're going to see it later. As you can see here, I've just about flipped the whole screen sideways. You gotta be careful. You don't want to separate it from the bottom part. You don't want to put too much stress on it. And you don't want to grind the corner of the screen into the motherboard because I've had it scratched down here and it actually damaged the display. And you don't want to slip and cut yourself using the razor. Seriously, it's so dangerous. Don't do like me and don't wear gloves. I'm an idiot. Adults can be idiots. It happens. It's a part of life. ahead and go to my handy dandy box here on the floor. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I don't need that. We'll worry about designing later, but I'm just going to do a basic white screen. I know. I'm not fun. What can I say? So, I'm going to go ahead and get that reset up. There you go. There you go. And I am by no means a soldering expert. I still struggle daily, but I think I've gotten things down enough to where I can do it, no problem. So we can go ahead and set this aside. It's, look at that, look, magnetized. Get off the speaker, you bastard. All right, set that there. So, next thing you want to do, you got your plus and your minus. Come on, a little bit of zoom. A little, It just don't want to zoom. Anyways, that says handheld legend, I promise. I'm sorry, it's not picking it up as well as I was hoping. Close enough. So, go ahead and you want to solder 2 wires. You want to have the left one is the power, the right one is the ground. I have red and blue here. No, red versus blue, it'll do. And then I always make sure to have a little extra solder on the tip. Again, I'm a sloppy solderer, so that's just the way I roll. That should be enough. And I've got this alcohol sneaking into my arm. I don't appreciate that alcohol. Move out the way. Thank you. Let's see. So this is not a soldering class. I'm not going to try to tell you how to solder. Just solder it. And again, easy, quick little solder. And I always like to save my work once I do that. So I am going to go ahead and get my cutters. No, I don't want the cutters. I actually want the glue gun, which is melting my baggie, but that's okay. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to use the back of this just so I can quickly and easily glue, because I do not want to lose the solder I currently have. Now you've got your polarized film, yeah. You see here? See? Look at that. That's regular polarization. That's inverted. See how nice and dark blue it is? It's wonderful. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set that aside for the moment. We don't have to worry about it, but I personally am terrible at putting in these screens. They get in, but I don't put them in as well as Kyle from Handheld Legends would approve of, but they do get in there. So here, I have to lift up this little bottom of the plastic, and I cut the plastic. I know, he designed it to be better. I know I'm a terrible person, but this is what I do. And that's just how I do it. Trust me, the job gets done. It's a very good end product regardless. All right, so that's chopped off, and I touched the screen. Terrible. All right, clean. It's always good to have a nice little microfiber cloth you only use to finish your cleaning. You don't want to get any gunk on there and then just slobber it around like some sort of disgusting pig. All right, now that we got that, let's go ahead and we are going to remove this film very carefully. Beautiful, just beautiful. Always make sure that there's no hairs that sneak on there, since I have cats and dogs and a pig. Everything likes to get their hair in everything we do. So, sneak that in there. And of course added a bit too much glue, so it's actually hanging off the side a little bit. But I can fix that, that's not a big deal. Actually, it looks like it's fine. Now we have the screen, it's in there, woo! Now we're going to go ahead and take the polarized film. Always got to be careful with this. Take your time. You scratch that film, you're going to have to start again by getting a new piece. There's no redos on these. You cannot clean them unless you're very gentle with a microfiber cloth, and then that may not always be enough. Pull off both sides. Alright, so we need to go ahead and we need to slide that in there. Regular, inverted. And for the sake of making me look like I know what I'm doing, it actually went right in there, no problems, no questions asked. So I'm going to clean off that screen, and we're going to see how bad I did. Hopefully not terrible. You know what? It's actually so bad. Get a Q-tip. Boop, Q-tip. Very messy. Messy, 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 messy. Alright, so see as we have it there, it's pretty clean, pretty good looking. There's a couple of smudges, I can't tell. Is that a part of the glass? Is that a part of the film? That's a part of the film. At least the top part is. See a couple of bubbles up there, it's very weird. I don't like that. And I see the screen itself still a little messy, so let's see, I'm curious. It's no good. I need to get another piece of film. Unacceptable film, you suck. Alright, but I'm going to make sure this inner part here is clean. And your screen is more supported. I don't want to mess with it too much just because that sucks. I don't want my screen to move. I don't want it to fall. I don't want it to look like crap. Alright, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put down my cloth. So, get out of here, razor. Thank you. Now we need to go ahead and solder the two wires. I always tuck them through here. You got to solder the ground and you got to solder the power. Power is going to be the left side right there. Boop. The ground's going to be that side. Boop. We're going to go ahead and flip it over. I need to grab a resistor. Alright, and it appears that I dropped my resistor, but that's okay, because I picked it up. Yeah. Just going to do a quick little snip, snip. I'm going to go ahead, I prepped that with a little bit of solder. Again, not needed, but I'm not the solder champion, so bear with me. Alright, once you got that, you want to solder that to your power. So be careful, watch that wire, alright? You can always move it out of the way, but always test it before you do any hot gluing at that point. So, let us go ahead, plug it in. Let's see what we got. Oh! Look at that! Ain't that beautiful? There we go. It's actually, contrast is a little weird, but see, you got a nice backlit screen. Stuck out a little bit. There we go. But see, no more lines. Everything looks nice and good. So, I'm going to go ahead And next we're going to actually add in the Bivert chip. Alright, now that we're back, we're going to move on to the next part. We don't really need this at the moment, so we can actually go ahead and completely remove our screen portion because that is done for now. It is good to go. The next part we need to do is a Bivert. I'm going to go ahead and get my Bivert chip, which is out of my reach. Always out of my reach. Alright, so that's this little wonderful chip. Let's get a better picture of that. Look at that, look at that. Come on, phone. What if I hold it here? You'll zoom better, won't you? See, it's there. I promise it's there. It says Handheld Legend. It's amazing. Newest chip that he's gotten. It's the tiniest. It's the most compact. It's super small. It's amazing. It's just, I can't sing its praises enough. Because the old chip, as you saw right there, it's actually a part of this entire chip set. See that little one by my thumb? See how tiny that is? Because dumb people like me who are unable to solder small things, you know, it sucks. This is the old chip. Look at that. Look at that. It's really the same chip. It's just actually on a little board thing. Looks kind of cool. What's a triple invert? Is that like invertception? But no, seriously. It's way easier to use. You don't have to focus on these little pins and ground certain ones. So, you know, much easier. Everyone has a good time. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and get my wires ready. What I'm going to do now is I know the exact two leads that I need to cut, lift. You just need to lift the pins. You do not need to cut. There we go. We have two lifted pins. You don't have to cut the lines because at that point, no solder is connecting them. Don't fall on my camera. There we go. So go ahead and get everything set up back into place. And now we're going to go ahead and solder in all of our wires. Awesome, we got it soldered in there. You just want to make sure that you don't have any excess solder. I'll touch the screen real quick. You don't want to have any excess solder touch other pins. A little messy, but I promise you, it's there. I've seen worse. Alright, so now we got that in, let's go ahead and excuse me, let's see which is the better end. I'll go for the slightly braided side. That one looks a little bit like butt. Alright, so I prepared my wire, real quick little fix. Let's see what our end product looks like. We can move that little spot out there. So if you're doing this, my method should have been apply the wires to the chip, and then once that's secured, I like to hot glue that so I know it doesn't move, and then I'll take that and I'll go ahead and I'll solder these points in. It's already attached to the chip. It's easier. I keep forgetting which method is best. I'm still new to the new Bivert chip, and even the old one I never did successfully, so, you know, sucks. Let's go ahead, plug that in. Everything goes well, we should start it up and we should see an biverted screen. And that's how you do it. That is completely inverted. Look how sharp the contrast is. Get nice and close to it. Ignore that little slash there. That's supposed to be there. Slash Nintendo. Beautiful. It's a difficult mod. Personally, if you're not comfortable with it, just keep practicing until you figure it out. Watch more videos. I've spent a lot of time trying to make it happen, and it just sucks. You'll eventually figure it out if you just keep trying. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this mod, because I personally like to secure everything, because as of right now, all my wires are vulnerable, to include on the chip, and that sucks. Nobody likes that. Let's plug in our mod again, our screen. I'm making sure it's clean. It is clean. I might hit it with some alcohol. Never hurts to be super safe. And lift everything up. And as we see, the mod is still successful. Now you've glued it into place. The neat part at this point is that if you want, pop in a game without the blocker there. It just does a quick little reset. Ready? Ready? Quick little reset. And that's how you backlight, add a Bivert chip, and fix the screen of your Game Boy. And then you just go ahead and put it back together. Then you can use a bunch of little beautiful parts like I have here. Let me zoom the screen in. Look at that. I got buttons, I've got extra screens, I have all kinds of stuff. Make it look gorgeous? You never know. Let's go ahead, we're going to turn that off. Alright, looks like we're back. I actually went ahead and got some sleep. I was working on editing the video late in the night, and the good news is that the game case for this specific Game Boy is actually done. Look at that. Hand painted, sealed. I used all kinds of good sealants and some Pasca paint pens. It's awesome. It feels great, looks good. Paint doesn't look too bad. I'm still very, novice at painting. There's a little mark there, but it's acceptable. But, yeah, not bad at all. Let's go ahead. We'll do a little zoom right there. Yeah, a little zoom. Yeah, it's okay. It's not zooming very well. But yeah, looks very good. It's a very, very good final product. My wife has gotten really, really good at the artwork, and she's going to be doing more. If you'd like to request some custom artwork, let us know. We can do your original Game Boys, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color. We don't want to go anything past that because I'm not sure how the other plastics will react to my paint and sealant process. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to take this exact Game Boy in the exact same position, the exact same game that we all put in there together last night. Kirby Dream Land! Now we are going to piece this together and finish our Game Boy project. There we go. And that's it. Pop in your game. Have a nice clean screen. As I continuously mark it a bit more. Come on, there we go. All put together, all complete. Power on. So everything looks good. It is complete. Alright. Got any questions, comments, concerns? You know where to put them. Like, subscribe, and do whatever. Awesome. Thanks. Peace.